Alright, welcome back to Just Magic the Gathering. I somehow didn't save my deck and had to recall it, but I wanted to take a minute offline to make sure I wasn't missing anything obvious. I'll just review it from the top. Sorry. I basically hexproof, lifelink, first strike, flying. I mean, it's for one, really hard to beat. The basically protection for one, control for one, protection for one, control for two, a creature that can come as a surprise. The crashing wave is basically slowdown or control. The main thing here is this is the only way I have to waterbend in the entire deck. Going back to prowess, and if I burn lessons, I can call their or have them mill. I don't really have anything I can pull out, so it doesn't do any good to mill me. I was wondering about taking him out, but he's the prowess I like. Waterbender Ascension is part of the card draw engine. Cunning Maneuver is all protection as well as card draw. Firebending Student is mana ramp and prowess. The last Agni Kai is control as well as extra mana ramp in some ways. The Great Divide is basically any of my land can be any color for 2. I was wondering if I should wait a little more heavily on green, because if I can get this out, I don't necessarily have to worry about any of the other stuff. Because I can basically have an entirely green deck and spend it on. But if they kill it, that's a problem too. I don't want to run into that problem. The Raucous Audience, I'm pretty sure I kicked both of these out last time, but I somehow have one left this time. I think I kicked out the Rhino Cavalry because it's a little expensive. I do like the firebending aspect, and there were some things I did like about it, but this is part of mana ramp. I do still have the one for the land search. I did throw in the instant lesson because this is not only gives it menace, which means they can't potentially defend against it, but all my other creatures get +2, +0. The Twin Blades is handy because it gets a permanent +1/+1, and it gets double strike till end of turn. So going back to protection and surprise. This is part of the card draw engine. White Lotus reinforcements. All my other allies get +1/+1, and it has Vigilance. I'm a little shy on creatures, so that's basically why some of these are in here. And I was wondering about throwing in. I don't have a lot to throw in that I like. But it's card draw. Sorry. The +1/+1 Vigilance I like. I have other citizens. No, allies. Sorry. 7 allies. So 7 of my 11 creatures are allies. So that's the majority of them. Sorry. Fire Nation Raiders, the Wandering Musician, whenever this creature attacks, gets +1/+0 until end of turn. In fact, I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I need all the creatures I can get. And when I was reviewing Ings specifically, if I Earthbend, which I should be able to do almost every round by just attacking, then I can get draw. I mean, he has card draw engine, and I like him. It does take all 4 colors to get him out. But in order to transform him, I need to waterbend, earthbend, firebend, and airbend all on the same turn. Which, going back to when I said that's the only card I have that'll waterbend. This is the only thing I can do to get him to proc. And with that being said, I was looking at what is it that I can do for... how is the easiest way or the cheapest way I can get all 3 or all 4 in one round. And that is Airbender reversal. I can airbend for 1. I can waterbend for 2. Or sorry, I can... thought I could airbend for 1. Sorry. Airbend for 2. Waterbend for 2. Firebend by attacking. And then it was 4 to... exhaust. Was it the White Lotus? No. But it'd work. For 4, I can earthbend for 4. So 8. I need to spare 8 mana in order to, and all the right cards in order to transform Aang. So that's probably not likely going to happen. But if I do, a lot of my spells, like all these ones, become free. And yeah, because it makes all of them cheaper by 1 of each main color. I don't know. In a way, I'm feeling pretty good about it. The 14, 15, 11 is where I ended up. Which actually makes me wonder about trying to pull a little bit more enchantment out of it, or I don't know. At a certain point, you know, ho-hum forever, but let's just see how it holds up. The one thing I was wondering about upping my green mana on my dragon deck, I have mostly green mana because green mana is what I need in order to do my cards to give me my other mana, or let me seek my mana. Like, not a huge fan. Waterbender Ascension. I don't have a single creature I can play without drawing into white. But I'm not going to necessarily get much better either. I'm probably going to regret that. We'll see. A Tiger Seal 3/3 for 1. That has Vigilance? That's in a way impressive. Don't have a target creature to attach it to, which is a little unfortunate. But that being said, 1 white will actually finish off my color schema, which would be huge. Not much else I can do other than continue. It's gonna hit me for 4 this round, and probably get a land drop. There's not a lot I can do about that. And back to that is a boo. And back to definitely not a good showing for it, or maybe the fact that I should have mulliganed. Here's where I wish I had a board wipe. It's going to be over next round because he's too wide for me. Well, that was definitely not a good introduction or showing. Boo. Going 4 wide might have in a way been a mistake, or still not really sure. I didn't have enough creatures is the main thing I was struggling with there. But I didn't necessarily have a lot of control either. I was just questioning the legitimacy of trying to burn down to like 3 colors. 4 colors is stretching it. I could up my lands. I don't have a lot of ability to... It's trial and error between rounds. I mean, I don't have other dragons. But at 2.3, my deck's not expensive. The thing is, I just need to have the land. That's probably a mistake. I need more creatures, not more. Even though I was mana strapped. Think about it, in a way I want like more than 4/4s if I can get away with it. Last thing, I shouldn't have been tweaking it. If I take another basically straight loss, then I'll see if I can strip it down to a tricolor. There's probably no way I can get it down to a dual color. I was trying to figure out what's the easiest way to get consistency. I probably should have just mulliganed the last one. Or in a way much better because I have the multicolored lands and yeah. Probably go for mountain. Or, that was in a way stupid. Because I have white, blue, blue, red, red. I needed green of all things. And I should have played my tapped land too. Alright. Just trying to figure out because I do something like this next round. Oh, he is definitely mana ramping. I was wondering if I can do something like this. We'll see what he does. He's going to start dropping 1/1 counters with landfall. The last Agnikai, if I do the +2/+2, and the last Agnikai I can overpower for the kill on the wall drop, but the target creature you control fights target creature and opponent control, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be like a straight trade. If I have him fight the Death Touch, I'm just going to die no matter what my power is. So that'll make him a 3/3 or a 3/6. I can kill his earthbending for... I can't do anything about his enchantment. If I burn his citizen, I can get extra mana back. Can I get enough to... I'd only get 2 extra back. Just realized there's probably some dead air there. Waiting for him to declare his defenders, or if he is actually going to defend. Three, 4. Give me 3 extra mana back. Should have actually killed it on, overburned it on his planes. +1 counter. Only has 1 card left. I think I might lose this one. We'll see how it goes, but at least I feel more comfortable with how it's playing. Assuming he's going to play a land. I'm not sure what his last card he's holding is. He has to have the mana to play it. It was an airbend. I'm actually pretty sure if the order it was, that was the card he drew. I can at least kill him, kill one of his. Well played. Five five flyer. A little frustrating, but it's actually I think this would take more than one sitting, I guess, but I don't know. Oh. I didn't necessarily feel mana strapped. I was trying to figure out what I could have done there. I didn't, by the time I actually got some 4/4s out, I just didn't necessarily have... It wouldn't take a lot for me to like strip into all of my blue out. Let's just try that. I don't necessarily have enough depth to go just like red-green or red-white. I have to try color with how I ended up pulling. I have one spare white, 4 spare greens. I could pull the white out and just go red-green. I mean, technically I have like 4 whites or 5 whites and the 4 greens. I'm just basically throwing all my greens. And reds? I'm not sure how I miscalculated that. So I'm still 4 cards shy. $14, $12, $10. It's actually entertaining. Should I take this offline and See what I can do to shape it up. Because if I can at least get it down to a dual color, but there's basically nothing I can do to get it to a dual color, because that's all of my red and green, and I'm still too card shy of building a full deck. I could just slap in lands and call it good, but that seems silly. There's no way, I mean, I almost have to run tricolor with how I pulled. Yeah. I'm going to take this offline and see what I can do to shape up my deck, and we'll see about reviewing it.